As part of our empirical research in relation to our ARC project, we've been visiting lots of educational makerspaces, both here in Australia and overseas, and we've seen a dizzying diversity of different sorts of makerspaces. A particular focal point has been looking at how some regional centres have made use of makerspaces. So New South Wales, we visited Newcastle and Armidale to see what the universities there had been doing. I had a good chat to Stephen Jones, an MP from Wollongong, who is a great advocate of setting up makerspaces in regional centres. But also we've been exploring some of the regional rural centres in Queensland as well. One of our most eloquent interviewees is Steph Piper from the University of Southern Queensland, and she has been thinking very hard about ways and means in which a university can kind of play a role in bringing together a regional and rural centre in many different ways. So we're going to hear about her experience next. Stephanie.
Cool. Thanks so much, Matthew. Awesome. So my name's Steph Piper. I am the Community Engagement Coordinator at the University of Southern Queensland. So my role is to run the library-based makerspace. You also may know me from my past work at the Brisbane Hackerspace, where I was president out there for 2 years. But today I'm going to be talking a bit about how regional academic makerspaces tend to work. And so the space that I've got is a very digital fabrication focused space. So I've got stuff out there for, you know, your classic 3D printing, 3D scanning. We've got an electronics bench, plus all your sort of standard sewing machine, craft supplies, all that kind of gear. I'm pretty excited that our makerspace is part of the library. And so this means that within a university, that any student or any staff member can come in and use that space as they please without being restricted by department or usage or anything like that. And so it's a new way of facilitating that knowledge sharing and interdisciplinary collaboration that you would expect from library spaces, but in a more futuristic type way. Teaching-wise, I like to make sure the students get a very hands-on experience within the space so that there isn't someone doing the work for them. Essentially, they come in and they learn how to do it themselves. If a student comes in, they get 2 free 3D prints on the house to get them started. There's no roadblocks to entry. I often see quite a pervasive fear of technology sometimes in people where they come in and they think, oh, this is, you know, any excuse to not give it a go, which is a real shame. And so the more things we can take out of the way, the easier it is. And so students generally just come in, pick out something that they like online, and I sit down with them and show them how quick and easy it is to put on a print within 15 minutes or so. I'm usually in the space between 10 till 2, like as a drop-in session during the day. And yeah, the makerspace is there to use as an extracurricular activity so students can start building up a physical portfolio of things that they've made to show potential employers and say, look, I can do this stuff already. We've also been collaborating with a few courses as well. I've been making a series on how to do 3D printing for the new education subject, Emerging Technologies. So it will be curriculum embedded, which is pretty fantastic. USQ is also known for being a distance and online university. And so as part of that, students will also get the opportunity to send me through something to print if they are an online student, and then they'll get a copy of that print in the mail physically, which is pretty great. I've also been working with the biomed team as well. So we've been printing out little tiny noses and ears that the students can use as part of their experiments in tissue engineering to start growing cells in a 3-dimensional environment. So yeah, I'm really excited about those types of collaborations. I also was able to do a Maker Kits project that was student amenity fee funded, where we were able to send out 120 free Maker Kits per year, which included different types of kits like an Arduino and sensors, a wearable technology, robotics basics, home automation, all kinds of great stuff where students could get a kit and actually do some hands-on projects while being online or distance. But essentially, the point of difference between regional and I suppose city-based spaces is, as the community engagement coordinator, I sort of act as like a central node to connect students to industry in the local area, to academics, and I often go and visit schools, have community groups in, and I suppose it's a much smaller community, and I sort of tend to do, I suppose, a lot more sort of weird and wonderful projects, and we're able to, I suppose, stay a lot more flexible, and we can sort of bend the rules to shift with whatever the changing needs of the community are, which is pretty great. We've also been doing some pretty great online projects as well. I'm currently working on a new resources page. I was able to do a live stream of our polograph drawing machine, which like sort of sketches things on the spot, which was pretty fun. Students were giving requests and that kind of thing. And you can see, if you can look really closely, it's actually a picture of Mike Wazowski that we're drawing there. And yeah, I'm hoping to be able to have more mail-out kits available through the bookshop this time around, so students can, order in a kit and have it posted out and sit down and do a hands-on session without physically crowding up a space that should only have 6 people in it at a time. So yeah, we've also been doing some pretty great community collaborations as well, and I've brought a few examples. So this is one of my favourite projects that I did with the Toowoomba Base Hospital. So we were able to design 3D printable casts for broken bones, like this one here. To make something like this, I 3D scanned my own arm and designed this one to fit me exactly using Rhino and Grasshopper software. And so this one here, the idea is that normally when you've got a big heavy plaster cast on, you're getting all sweaty and it's not really a good time during the healing process. And something like this means you can, go for a shower, go for a swim, get a very cool tan as well along the healing process. This project is now an open source project on instructables.com, so that now anyone around the world can follow those same steps to make something like this and improve upon the design to the point where we might actually start seeing it in practice. We were also able to work with Toowoomba Hand Therapy as well to start making some prosthetic fingers for patients who lost a finger in a workplace accident. And so we're able to get this patient in, and this is just an open source Thingiverse design as well. We 3D scanned, we took a cast of his stump, and then we 3D scanned that, and we made a custom socket here that fits on perfectly. And he was telling us anyway that apparently he was getting quotes from like the real high-end prosthetic companies, and it was going to cost him tens of thousands of dollars to get like one of their prosthetics made up, whereas something like this costs under $5 and it's hackable. You can go and you can make your own changes to that model, you can make it fit, and I'm really excited about getting more students on board to start working with the patients directly on, making stuff like this and, showing how that process would work. Just like everyone else last year as well, we also did a face shields project. We were able to deliver about 400 face shields to healthcare workers in Toowoomba within aged care, within hospitals, all that kind of great stuff. And we had a bit of a collaboration of local businesses together to help us do that. So yeah, I'm really proud of that project as well. And essentially what we're looking at here is, like the future of this kind of thing especially sort of comes through in that PPE project where you've got like an immediate need that needs to be filled, and the Makerspace can step in and make that thing happen and fulfill that need and start building that regional resilience and independence that we need in those areas. Being able to, if you are a farmer in a rural area and something's broken, you need to fix a part, being able to have those key digital fabrication skills that you could pick up at a local makerspace, go down there and reverse engineer that part, go and actually keep going without having to rely on external sources that may be, unable to deliver, that might be too expensive for your needs, all that kind of great stuff where we can actually start making things locally with distributed manufacturing. So yeah, I feel like we are in a space right now that is so new still. This is the time in history where it's like, this is the fastest we've ever been able to prototype and actually make things like physical hardware prototypes happen. So there's still so much to do and there's still so many exciting projects to be done, and I can't wait to see more makerspaces pop up around in this area. But yeah, thank you.